Week 11 wrap up, and it's my birthday week. What does that mean? So as I said, week 11 is the week that I celebrated my birthday. I turned the big 5-1, so 51 this week. And I thought at first it was going to be kind of a nothing birthday. Like, usually when I'm on my birthday, I like to travel and be away for my birthday. But this was the first year in a long time where I was basically home to celebrate, and was very hopeful that my friends, perhaps some friends, a friend, could join in the festivities of my birthday. But let's talk about, before we actually got to my birthday, what I did accomplish this week. I was very good about training on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. My birthday fell on Thursday, so I made sure to keep the birthday week in mind, approaching it with a healthy attitude, right? I didn't want to approach my birthday in a way that was unhealthy or destructive, because I really believe, and I've always done this, I've always trained and been on some type of health regimen leading up to my birthday, because I want to start my birthday, my own personal new year. I would like to start my own personal new year with health and hopefully happiness and all the good things. So I kept firm and kept on my training and accomplished training on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So let's talk about what did we accomplish on Monday. So Monday started with push day. Now that my friend Kristen is back in town, I have a regular solid gym buddy, so I'm excited to finally have her back. We met up again in Salzburg for the wedding from last week that you saw. And this week we hit the gym hard. We walked all the way to the gym and back, got our steps in, and started our push day. So our push day started with cable pullovers. Sometimes I like to do chest flies, but when the machine is not available, I can use the double set cables, set it light, and that's basically my warm up for pull day, is the cable pullovers. And I didn't use any grips, we just pulled over with the cables as our warm up. Then we move on over to the bench and we do alternating push-ups and bench press. Again, I'm not going too heavy on my bench press, as I've injured my shoulder and my elbow before, and I'm really concentrating on the form with my bench press. I'm really trying to make sure that I have it low and at or below the breast. So when I push, it's kind of like if you were gonna do a push-up, you shouldn't have it too high, because that's more shoulder, right? So if you have your arm at a lower angle and you're pushing, then you really concentrate on pushing from the pecs, from the chest, because this is a chest day, right? It's really not about the shoulders as much. Even though they're involved, you really want to involve the pecs. So we did push-ups in between our bench press, and when I do my push-ups, I do it angled on a bench still, not flat, just so I can really concentrate on form and pressing from the right muscle. My plan on progression with push-ups is, of course, a lower angle until it's flat and perfect for that perfect push-up. That's my progression. Then after the push-ups and the bench press alternating. I did my incline dumbbell press. So I made sure that my incline was far back enough where, again, it's concentrating on the upper pectorals instead of the shoulders. Because if you're sitting straight up, you're not really working your chest, you're really working the shoulder instead. So I need to make sure that I'm pressing from the upper chest for my incline bench press, right? So I really make sure my ankle is back. It's not flat. The flat bench press works more of the mass radius of your pectoral, right? The lower and mid of the pectoral. But the great thing about the incline dumbbell press, the incline bench press, is it works the upper pectoral. And ladies, we want that, because what that does is it lifts the tissue, the mass. So we're building this upper pectoral so that it's lifting that area. And who doesn't want lifted chest area? I certainly do. So that's an important one, incline dumbbell press. Then after that were tricep cable push downs. Of course, I videoed as much as I can. Well, or my friend Kristen did. Thank you, Kristen, for filming while I was training to work the back tricep. And the whole idea is I want to make sure that I really get an extension through that arm. It's almost like a kickback, and you're working that tricep muscle. And you really want to concentrate on trying to lock your elbows at your waist. So as you're like pressing down, you're really isolating that tricep muscle. She did, in place of that, overhead tricep pulls. Basically, it's a push-pull kind of thing because it's a push day. So she's pushing away from herself. She has the cable above her, right? And she'll like push, and it's just really just concentrating as she's pushing the cabled weight from, and it concentrates in a different way, but you're getting, it's almost exactly the same muscle that you're hitting. Then after tricep cable pull downs, then after that it's followed by machine assisted dips, which is so important because you get on the dip machine and I have to do assisted. I can maybe get one dip free weight, but in order to do 3 sets of 15, to get 3 sets of 15 in good form of dips, I have to use the machine. So I need assistance. And again, the progressive overload for that, the progression for that is, of course, this counterweight that helps assist you in your dips. The whole idea is to slowly like reduce the weight of the counterweight. So say you weigh, I don't know, 60 kilos or 65, and you have the machine set at 50, right? Then you progressively go down to 45 to 40, 35, progressively go down until you don't need it anymore. And hopefully, your weight also goes down a bit, but you never know. We're building muscle. We may end up being like 150 pounds of solid mass. You never know, right? I've seen some of these lady bodybuilders who are training and they look tiny. They're all of like maybe 5'2", 5'4". I'm 5'4". And they weigh 130 pounds. And I remember thinking, wow, 130 pounds is really thin, but not super thin. But that was without muscle. But these girls are like solid muscle and weigh 120, 130 pounds, and they're completely shredded. They've gotten all the body fat off their bodies, and they are solid muscle. So 130 pounds of solid mass muscle looks completely different than 100 pounds of bone and skin, right? With some flab. It's just different. It's so solid and so tiny and so awe-inspiring. And so for me, I wouldn't be mad at 150 pounds of solid, muscle mass, or 145, whatever. I have no idea. I've never done this before, not to this degree of training. So I'm actually really excited to see what we're going to accomplish as we build mass and lose body fat and train our cardiovascular, right? So after that was Monday. Then I gave myself a rest day on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we had leg day, which I've changed up my day 1 legs. And so what I'm doing in my day 1 legs is now I've kind of concentrated a mix of what I had originally as day 1 and day 2, and I've consolidated because I wanted to add different legs for a different day for if I get 2 days of legs in my training week. So for day 1 legs now, I start with, of course, my warm up the central nervous system, let the body know what's about to happen. So I start with squats, like free squats, no weight, nothing. So I use a heavy hip band to add resistance to my warm up. And then I use the bar and I just squat the bar to check my balance and my form. And then we start packing the weight on. I'm doing easily about 30 kilograms added to the bar, which is about 50 kilograms that I'm squatting, 100 and something, and I don't know, in pounds. And that seems okay. I'm gonna start progressing up in weight, and so we'll see how much I can squat. And sometimes I do normal squats, and sometimes I, like the last 2 or 3 of the set, because I usually do 5 sets of 5, I'll add sumo, with the sumo position with the legs wider. Then after that, I usually do, since I'm at the rack anyway, I usually then go into my deadlifts. And I do the sumo deadlifts because for me, it's just, the form it's what was assigned to me from my trainer when he made me the program, but also the form for me is just better. I feel safer and stronger, and quite frankly, like I'm not gonna pee myself. I know that's so sad, but women, when we're deadlifting, we have to be careful. It's hard not to pee yourself sometimes, and especially when you're lifting heavy. And that's also added 30 kilograms to the bar, which is, the bar is about 20 kilograms, 20 to 22, depends on the bar. So about 50 kilograms squatting there, deadlifting. And then after that are the hinge hip RDLs that I've now added to my leg, which we've talked about before, to my leg day. So I have the 3 sets of 10. It seems to be a really good training where it takes me to exhaustion, where I can't almost do the last 2 reps. It's just, the form is very hard for me. I'm still really shaky. My balance is crap. I might need to try those barefoot. It could just be the balance in the shoe. It also could just be the balance of the person. I mean, let's be real. And then of course I hit the booty miser and worked on my booty. So good old hip thrusts on the booty miser to work the butt. So yeah, I'm working all parts of leg and butt on my day 1 leg day. So that was Wednesday, and when I got home, I treated myself to a lovely chicken soup that I had already made, that I talked about last week. Big old chicken soup, and instead of having chicken salad, I had my feta and beet apple salad that I really like. What's great about the soup and salad is, with the soup, I get protein and collagen and all the good things from the bones and the veg and the chicken. But with my salad, it fills me up. It's a lot of fiber, and with the apple and the beet and the lettuce, and it's not very high in calorie. I mean, it's got calories, of course, but it tastes good. It's got sweet and sour and salty and all the good things, and it just fills me up. And I really like, especially after training, I like to feel full, because training days, I get really hungry. I mean, you should, right? So that was Wednesday. And then Thursday was officially my birthday. My boyfriend asked me, and I talked about this before, what do I want to do for my birthday? And I was like, I just really would like to go for gluten-free pizza and have some Lambrusco and, just chill. And maybe we can invite some friends to come along. And I of course, my friend Kristen, I planned to be there. So we had pizza and Lambrusco, and it was just kind of disappointing, actually. The pizza was not as good as it used to be, which makes me really sad because I was really looking forward to it. And the circumstances were kind of wah-wah. We walked into the restaurant and had a reservation, and I had some friends that I thought were gonna come, but then they couldn't come, and everyone was busy. So I was feeling kind of poopy and sad, because as much as I'm grateful that the friends that did come with me, my boyfriend and my friend Kristen, I'm grateful that they were there with me, and we had a lovely time because we were together. But when we walked into the restaurant, the first thing the guy said to us was like, you can only have the table till 7 because we have reservations. And I just got, my hairs like went up, and I'm like, excuse me, but this is also a reservation. And I just kind of gave him the diva attitude because I was just like, why do you say that? Like somebody else's reservation is more important than your reservation? Like you're gonna kick us out if we're not done eating? Like what is that? So that kind of just made me even more irritated. So I was feeling like sorry for myself and also angry at the guy who works there. I mean, I know they were stressed because it was raining and so they couldn't seat people outside for their reservations, but quite frankly, we made our reservations on the inside, knowing that it was supposed to rain. So we thought ahead, and it is not our fault that they cannot seat those people outside. So to tell us that we have to leave by a certain time, and I was just like, meh, you know? So I was not thrilled about that. However, in the end, they did not kick us out. It did stop raining. They were able to serve people outside. Everything worked out fine, but I was just really irritated. And the pizza just was like mediocre and not great. So I kind of felt like it was almost wasted calories, which is sad because, you know, if you're going to have a cheat meal, then you want it to be good, right? You're going to eat those calories. You want those calories to count, right? Lambrusco was good, but it's hard to mess up a bottle of something, right? So that was Thursday. And then on Friday, I went ahead and scheduled a training session. We needed to get our pool day in. So Kristen and I walked again to the gym and did our pull day. So pull day, of course, started with lat pull downs. So we did our lat pull downs, and with our lat pull downs, there's always like a warm up and then 2 sets each of different widths of the bar. Starting, the warm up is wide, right? And it's 10 pounds lighter than whatever you're gonna do. But it's so funny because the machine we normally use wasn't available. So we put the bar on, and I'm trying to remember if it was this week or this current week or last week, but we put the bar on and we were lifting an entire stack in the end because it was just felt light to us. And so, but the thing about the grip is you start wide and then you do for the warm up. Then when you put the weight up by 10 or 20 kilos, it's up to you. Then I start with the close grip first, and I 2 sets of 12 close, and then I go middle, which is a middle neutral grip, and do 2 sets of 12 of that, and then the wide grip, and then 2 sets of wide for the lat pull downs. After that is rows, where I do cable rolls and I pull, and you start with a warm up, generally 10 kilos lower than what you normally would do, and you do about 20 of the warm up, and then you add your weight, right? And then you're rowing, and you're, again, the idea is to keep those elbows close to the body. So as you're rowing back, you're really concentrating on that middle back column of muscle. And so that's very important because the lat pull downs, of course, work the upper back and the lat that create that V shape. And then with the rows, we're really concentrating on that middle back core of the middle back. So as you're pulling, you get that nice, strong middle back. It does use some of the lower back and the spine, which is great, but really the concentration's more middle back. And so you do your rows, and I do the warm up, and then I do 4 sets of 12 with that as I go up in the weight. And then you do a drop set. And a drop set is where you drop the weight and usually go down to that beginning weight that you warmed up with. And you either do it like 20 to 25, you don't have all day, or to basically exhaustion. You go until failure. I never go into failure because generally once I get to 25, it's already a struggle, but also I don't have time. I don't have all day. So, which maybe means I need to go up in my warm up and my drop set, especially since we were basically rowing and pulling almost the whole stack of weights from that machine. After that, then we do face pulls. And I've learned to put a foot forward for my face pulls so I don't pull my neck forward, because the whole idea of face pulls is as you're pulling the thing towards you, think of your thumbs back, right? And you're pulling towards you, and it's almost like you're hitting your face. So you're pulling towards your face, and you want to work this upper part of the back where you're not doing this, but your neck is like this, because you're strengthening that whole upper part of the neck and back to keep you to have good posture. So face pulls are great because it helps to offset the exercises that make you tend to go for it. I know I've probably said all of this before. I'm sorry if it's a bit redundant, but it's useful information and it's a good reminder of what we should be thinking about as we train. So we do the face pulls, which are 4 sets of 15. And then we have our shoulder gauntlet, which is the shoulder press, the front lat raises and the side lat raises. And I do 4 sets of 15 with that, with different weights depending on, because with the smaller muscle, I use a smaller weight. With the larger muscle, I use a heavier weight. Then I have my barbell curls where I go wide, middle, close. And I do 3 sets of 15 with the barbell. And I just really make sure, again, to lock those elbows in to the side when I'm curling that bar. It's about hitting just that really isolated bicep muscle, right? So we're just curling. So we really want to lock that elbow in as we're curling with the barbell, right? And so again, wide grip, middle grip, close grip, 3 sets of 15, 1 of each of the different grips, not 3, 3, 3. We would never be done with biceps, and I think my bicep would fall off. And then hammer curls. We finish strong with hammer curls, where we have our dumbbells and we're just hammering our muscles. We're hammering, again, keeping those elbows in, and bicep isolation, just a little bit of a change. Instead of having our hands curled out like with the barbell, they're curled in like you're drinking a bottle, from a Coke or something. And you're hammering into your shoulders as you're curling your biceps. And so yes, that was my pull day on Friday. And then of course after that, I can't remember if we walked home or not. I don't think, maybe we did, because we made sure we got there early. And Kristen said to me on Thursday, since I was kind of poopy about my birthday on Thursday, she goes, you know what, why don't we just have a girls' day, and we're gonna go and do a girls' night. We're gonna go eat tacos at Chalk, which is one of, again, this restaurant. Chalk is the fusion taco Mexican place on the Donau Canal. And why don't we go there and just have some tacos and just do a girls' night? Because doesn't David have like his boys' night that he has every Friday? Because generally my boyfriend likes to go meet with some guys and they have a cigar gentleman's evening once a week. Sometimes not that often, but I was like, oh, I guess he does, and so we get back, clean up, and I was just gonna wear a dress, like a really comfy dress that was basically a muumuu, and I was putting it on, and Kristen was all dressed up. She looked really cute, and she goes, you are not wearing that. And I'm like, I'm not. And she goes, no. I brought my red dress, because she bought this cute red silky dress in Spain, which she wanted to wear with some cute earrings, and I'm like, oh, fine. So she made me dress up, even though I didn't feel like it, because again, poopy. I'm such a little baby. Ugh. So she made me change, and so I put on like at least one of my favorite cute little burgundy, it's like actually brick red jumpers with a really pretty beaded belt that actually my best friend Rebecca in Texas gave me years ago. And this is the perfect belt for this jumper. It's so beautiful. I don't know where she got this belt. She may have brought it back from India, knowing her, because she used to travel to India a couple times and beautiful trips and brought back beautiful gifts. But she gave me this beautiful belt that's beaded and has golds and bronze and this brick red color, and it's perfect with this jumper. So I put that on and I did my hair and makeup. So I wasn't a complete loser going out with my friend. And I was really hungry. So, because again, it's after the gym, so I'm always hungry. We're getting on I think we took the tram. Yeah, we took the tram to the train to get to the restaurant, the subway. And as we're going and we're approaching Chuck, I noticed there was a group there and someone else is having their birthday, and I hear happy birthday. And I'm thinking, see, that's what I wanted. I would have loved to have my friends with me, a group of friends, and have a birthday together. That would be so nice, because I love my friends and I want to hang out with them. And I don't think I've ever done a big birthday party like that. And they're singing happy birthday, and Kristen, she grabbed my arm and she goes, that's for you, right? And I'm like, huh? And it was a surprise party for me. And I started crying. I started walking up and I just like teared up and like started to cry because I had no idea that, of course, that's what surprise parties are supposed to surprise, but I had no idea. And this is why all my friends were busy and nobody was available to go out or meet up all week because I kept calling people. I'm like, hey, you want to meet up? And calling people, hey, we're gonna go for pizza. I know it's last minute because I'm poopy, blah, and I don't plan because everyone's so busy. And it turned out that they were all waiting for me anyway to celebrate my birthday. So yeah, I am such a weirdo because I didn't realize that, I mean, of course, it's a surprise party, so why would I realize that the party was for me? But even walking up, I didn't realize the party was for me. I was feeling sorry for myself. Oh, get over yourself. And it was amazing and it was magical. And every face there were people I love. I mean, it was probably one of the best birthdays I think I've ever had. And what an amazing treat. And the fact that my boyfriend pulled this off without me knowing is a miracle because I ruin every surprise. I know everything. I am so sneaky and get so involved in everything. Like my nose is in business. Like I'm such a busybody. And the fact that he pulled this off without me realizing was unfathomable. So it was an amazing birthday. I am so absolutely grateful and was crying and so moved and so happy. Of course, the whole way there, I was saying to Kristen, you know, we're just gonna go for tacos, but I'm not gonna drink. And of course I drank because it was my birthday. And I was greeted with a glass of rosé sparkling sect and started off with that and then quickly moved to a miso margarita that are fabulous there. So I had a couple of those and I had some tacos and had some potatoes that I love, my regular thing. And then from there, because the weather was a bit gray and about wanting to rain on us, David was smart enough, thanks to my friend Jasmine, giving him the thought that we should just go 5 minutes up the block to this rooftop bar that has an inside to continue the party. And they saved a whole lounge area for us. So it was lovely. So after we ate and drank and had a wonderful time at Chalk, then we went up to the Radisson Red rooftop terrace and did cocktails there. And the rain came and went, so we were able to go outside at points and enjoy the view of the city and open the red door and see the beauty of Vienna from the rooftop. Yeah. So overall, week 11, my birthday week, was amazing. That was week 11. That was the wrap. We trained. We got a good weight training session Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I did a lot of celebrating for my birthday. I know most people have one birthday day. I tend to have a whole week. I like to have my birthday week. And that did continue. Generally, it's the birthday month. I claim all of July, just so you know. Granted, now that we're going into August, but it can roll over. It's okay if it rolls over a little bit into August. Sorry, other Leos. One thing I did notice I wanted to note and talk about really quickly is the fact that with the training, with the heavy weight training, the hangovers, the alcohol didn't affect me as it usually does. And I do think it's because I was utilizing so much of the glycogen that's roaming around my body and used it in my training because I made sure, of course, I got up. I did some HIIT cardio after that. I know it's insane, but I did. I got up and did HIIT cardio and I felt really great. And all the walking and then all the weight training. So I burned calories, used up the excess insulin and glycogen in my body, and really felt good this year, even with some drinking and eating off plan. And I mean, the eating wasn't terrible. It's not like I was eating fried chicken and with mac and cheese or anything. I mean, I was having some tacos with meat and tortillas and beef and salad and some potatoes. So it's like, it's stuff I can have, but alcohol is not really on my diet. And it did not hit me as bad as I was afraid it would, because usually I get terrible inflammation from alcohol. So yeah, the training has really, really helped with how my body processes it. But I know I keep saying I'm gonna not drink, but the birthday week kind of threw me off. We're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying to get off the sauce. Get off the sauce. We'll see. So yeah, that's week 11. And if you also had a birthday or having a birthday coming up, happy birthday. Celebrate life. Start life healthy and happy, and do everything you can. And thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to click that like button down below, and maybe leave a comment. Maybe wish me happy birthday. I don't know. Let me know how you're enjoying the videos, or don't. If you hate it, let me know why. I'm happy to take your criticism. So thanks again for joining me for week 11, and I look forward to seeing you next week in week 12. What will we get up to? Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.